So I've just moved into a training block for my next half marathon. My previous half marathon didn't quite go to plan. I was aiming for a sub 2 hour finishing time. I finished in 2 hours 10. It's not a bad time, but it's certainly not what I was aiming for. Looking back, I think the reason for that was I didn't really apply a training plan correctly. I sort of had a training plan, not a good one. So this time I'm going to do things a bit differently. I've got a more structured plan. It's a 12-week plan, of which I'm 2 weeks into it, and it's a 2-week cycle, so it repeats every 2 weeks with an increase in load or timings and distances and stuff like that. I say structured, but it is still quite flexible. Obviously, real life gets in the way sometimes. You can't always do the run that you want on a Tuesday or the run that you want on a Wednesday. And sometimes you need to do shorter runs because you just don't have the time. So it's quite a flexible plan, but should still get me to the point where I bring that in under 2 hours. So I'm going to show you the plan now. The first Monday is a rest day. The first Monday is a rest day because the last Sunday is a long run day. So when the cycle repeats, we start with a rest day. So day one, rest day. Day two, the Tuesday, is intervals. So intervals are there to help build speed and make sure that you've got the speed in your legs over distance and to help build that distance and the strength in your legs. So the way intervals work is I'll be doing 400 meter repeats. So 400 meters at a fast pace, so faster than race pace. Not entirely sure what that is yet. I've done a few tests and I think I'm probably looking at 400 meters at around about a 7.5 minute mile. Then a minute and a half rest, and then repeat the 400. And I'll do that 4 times. That will give me the mile. And then I'll do a full rest. So by full rest, full recovery, might be 5 minutes, might be 10 minutes, and then I will repeat the sets again. I'll do that 3 or 4 times, depending on where I am in the cycle. The last lot I did, it was a bit of a mess. It was all over the place. So I did 3 lots, and I'll probably do 3 lots, but a bit more structured now I know a bit more what I'm doing. Day 3 on the Wednesday, I've got that down as an easy run. Easy runs are going to be distances anywhere between sort of say 7 miles and race distance. I'm going to start at around about, I started at around about 8. I'm going to take the next one to around about 9, maybe 10 miles. The increase in that isn't quite as structured as the rest of it. So it depends on how much time I've got, what else is going on in my life. But it'll always be around about that 10 mile mark, and that will increase over the 6 cycles that I'm doing. Day 4, Thursday, that's a tempo run. Tempo runs are runs at around about race pace for the entire distance, and that will increase at a set rate until I get to the point where I am running race distance at race pace. So for the first, I've got 6 blocks to get there, and I'm going to start at 8 miles at race pace. Then I'm going to increase it for cycle 2, 9 miles, cycle 3, and so on. So by the time I get to race day, I should have hit that mileage at that race pace. I'm not worrying about tapering just yet. I will taper down as well towards the start of the race, but not. It's only a half marathon. It doesn't need weeks of tapering. Friday, I've got down as a free run. Now, free runs are just days when I can go out and do whatever I feel like. I'll still be running. I might just go out and do a 5 miles fartlecking, so altering the pace and just playing with the speed like that. I might do some intervals, I might do some hill sprints, I don't know. It's a free day. I'll decide on the day itself. Saturday is always going to be a rest day. So first Saturday, second Saturday, it's going to be a rest day. Saturdays are days I do other things, family things, house things, that kind of stuff. First Sunday in the cycle is a free run day. I may do a long run, I may go and do intervals, I might just take the dogs for a long walk. It's a free run day, but basically as long as I'm doing something, it should be okay. I might even go into the gym or something like that. Then we're on to our second Monday. So if our first Monday was a rest day, our second Monday is an easy run. Same as before, we're just looking at around about,
a nice mid distance at a nice easy pace. And easy runs should be exactly that. Should be able to breathe nicely. I shouldn't be pushing too much sweat, to be honest. When I do an easy run, sometimes you think, oh, I may as well be walking. That's pretty much how it should be. Then I'm on to a tempo run on the second Tuesday. Again, tempo run is that at race pace. This will be the same distance as the first tempo run. So the cycle will do a repeat on the intervals and the tempo run. So the next intervals will be exactly the same as the intervals the week before. It's just the times are slightly different. Second Wednesday is a free run, already explained. And the second Thursday is a rest day. The second Friday is intervals, and this will be a repeat of the intervals that I did in week 1. Saturday rest day, and then on Sunday is long run day. Long run day will go past race pace. I'm not doing it at race pace. I'm not doing it easy pace. I'm doing it what I like to call comfortable. So I'll be running just at a comfortable pace, and eventually, by the time I'm looking to get to about 15 miles. So over the next coming weeks, it'll push out to about 15 miles at a comfortable pace, and that'll be my long run. Then the cycle repeats, Monday being the rest day. Right, at the start of the second cycle, everything increases. It might be with the intervals, as an example. I might increase the distance, so I might go 600 metres, or I might try and push the pace. I will do both at some point, but on week 2, it might be a case of, well, actually, I feel quite comfortable at the pace. I think I can push the pace, or it might be, I feel quite comfortable at the distance with that pace and push the distance. Everything else will generally increase in distance, so the tempo runs will be longer and the long runs will be longer and so on. In amongst all of that, I will also be doing some gym training. Some of the hill sprints I'll be doing on a piece of equipment in the gym that I like to use, and I'll be doing some strength training on my legs. Now, I'm not pushing it too much on the strength training at this stage. I know the course, I know the race, there's not a lot of hills or anything like that, so I know sort of where I need to be, I think. Other things I've done, nutrition, I'm paying more attention to what I'm eating now, and making sure that the things I eat are the things I need. I never paid much attention to things like protein and stuff like that. Just ate and didn't really care about it. I am paying more attention to that now. So one of the biggest changes I've made in the sort of last 4 or 5 months is weight loss. So back in October, end of October, I made the decision that I was going to cut my weight quite drastically, and I was struggling. So I started using a drug called Mysimba. So Mysimba is one of these weight loss drugs that you'll have heard about, along the lines of Ozempic or Mounjaro. Works slightly differently. I've had great results with it. I am going to do another video all about that. I think it's quite important, especially with the UK government talking about pushing this out to people with long-term unemployed, that are unemployed due to obesity. So I will be doing a video on that and explaining my experience with it. Look out for that video. That is my game plan, a 12-week structured training. There's a lot of flexibility in there. So if it gets to the point where I miss a run, not a big deal, I'll just put it in there. What I will try and do is, if I do miss a run, it will be the free runs that take the hit. If I can't run on a day that's scheduled for an interval, that interval will be bumped into a free run day. But I think if I stick with, if I was just doing the intervals, the tempos, the long runs in that schedule, that would actually probably be enough. All of the other runs are extras, if you like, and allow me to just be a little bit more fluid with my training. I think if I do stick to this plan, I really can bring it in under 2 hours, and I think I'm going to bring it in significantly under 2 hours. That's my plan. So there you have it, a structured 12-week training plan designed to get me through the Birmingham Half Marathon in under 2 hours without risking injury or burnout in the training phase. Hopefully this is a much more balanced plan than the one I didn't have before. So a nice balance of speed, strength and endurance. I'll put the outline of the plan down in the comments.
Be interested to know what your thoughts are. If you think there's any tweaks that might help. And also for you to maybe use yourself if you want to. If you do use it, I'd love to know how you get on with it. So drop me a comment if you are going to use it. If you're interested on how my training's going, you can always follow me on Strava. I will follow you straight back. I think we need to encourage each other with our fitness goals. Put my Strava link down in the comments along with the training plan. Now I need to pay attention to this run. Running too hard, it's supposed to be easy. Right guys, stay safe, have fun, and I'll see you on the next run.